In 2023-24, the Manitoba Association of Women's Shelters, or MAWS, responded to more than 20,000 calls and provided shelter to 2,247 individuals. Gender-based violence continues to be a big problem, and MAWS is working to train employers on what action they can take and what their legal responsibilities are. Joining us now from the Manitoba Association of Women's Shelters is Tsungai Muvingi Van Landeghem. Thank you so much for being with us, Tsungai.
Thank you so much, Catherine, for having me.
So an important topic. We're going to be speaking about gender-based violence, but let's talk about MAWS. Tell me what sort of work you do there.
Absolutely. So MAWS, we support the provincially funded shelters as well as associate members that work on the front line with families that are experiencing gender-based violence. We provide advocacy work as well as training for frontline workers in the sector.
So talking a little bit about gender-based violence, it continues to be a huge problem, obviously judging by those numbers we just heard. What are you seeing, what are you hearing from the front lines exactly?
So with a lot of our shelters, they're consistently operating at or over capacity. The need has increased, but we're also seeing complex traumas. So that would be families that are coming in with mental health issues. They're on the spectrum, so being able to support that as well as substance use.
So you need to have those supports built in if possible.
Absolutely.
So when we're talking about businesses, what kind of responsibility do they have when they're encountering gender-based violence, maybe in their workforce? What sort of responsibility is presented to them there?
So for businesses, one of the biggest things is allowing employees who are experiencing gender-based violence to take some time away. So there is actually legislation in place, and that allows for people to be able to take off time. But more than that, I think it's also a safety perspective, because unfortunately, gender-based violence doesn't just stay at home. It can follow someone to the workplace, and it can also happen in the workplace.
This can be wrapped in a lot of shame. It can be difficult to talk about, understandably, but you're offering some training sessions to help employers understand what their role could be. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, we're actually very excited for this project, because then we're engaging community from different perspectives and different angles. For businesses, working with businesses for this particular workshop that we are doing, we're going to be working to help them to understand what is actually their responsibility from a legal perspective. So we do have someone from the legal community who will actually be on this workshop with us, presenting this workshop, and she's worked in the industry for over 20 years. She's a lawyer, and her name is Laurie Cohoon. So we're very excited for her to bring her experience and help to support and guide businesses through, well, what are their legal responsibilities, but more than that, what is a good way to be able to respond.
And we heard about understanding your legal responsibility, but what are some of the other benefits for businesses if they get this training?
One of the staggering statistics is that it costs employers over $79 million annually when someone is experiencing gender-based violence. More than that, it costs community over $800 million annually. And for the general person, it costs over $6 billion in lost revenues. So it impacts the community at large. And so we're looking at it, how do we better support communities so that that impact is not quite as high, but also to be able to better support individuals and families who are experiencing gender-based violence.
We are nearly out of time, but just really quickly, how can folks get involved if they like the sounds of this?
Absolutely. You can visit our website, maws.mb.ca, and just go to our training section, or you can actually go on Eventbrite. We've got it advertised there, and you can register and join us.
Tsungai, thank you so much for your time and sharing your insights.
Thank you, Catherine.